Hello, Kiana Sage here for the Being in Sync 365 tip of the day. Today I'm giving you a tip on gratitude. And before I even go into why I'm even talking about gratitude, is because a lot of people think they're grateful. And I think that's great. It's great to think that you're grateful. It's better, excuse me, I saw my hair flipped out. It is better to be in the frequency of gratitude. So I think when people are focusing on gratitude, they're usually focused on making sure that they're appreciative or making a list of my gratitude list. What happened today that I'm grateful for? And those are all aspects of the mind. And gratitude is truly a frequency that occurs when you're connected to your heart space. So you don't want to get stuck in the head about being grateful or I got to be more grateful and what am I going to be grateful for today? Like those aspects of gratitude are very mental. And if you want to have more alignment to peace, you don't want to be mental. You don't want to be stuck in your mind. You want to be totally in the frequency of your heart. So when you're saying thank you or being in gratitude, one tip that you could do is just like put your hand on your heart. So even if you're on calls with people and you put your hand on your heart, just bringing your attention with your physical presence of your hand on your heart and expressing gratitude will shift your experience of that thing or situation or person or whatever it is that you're finding you're grateful for. But here's what I am going to suggest that you do as an additional is that you don't have to pick things to be grateful for. Be grateful for it all. Be grateful for the problems, be grateful for the challenges, be grateful for the relationships that have shown themselves to you that are often very painful. Like, look, I've had friends that show up as they've always been, but I had an idea of who I thought they were, but they've always been who they are showing me to be. I just didn't want to see it. And I understand this can be really painful and trying. But what I want to offer to you is that just be grateful that you're seeing now. Be grateful for it all. Be grateful for the challenges, for the new opportunities, for the difficulties. You know, not everybody wants to go to work. So maybe you have a job and there's some difficult people there. You know, maybe if you can learn how to be grateful for them, it'll change your perspective. I have two stories around this. Like one of the hacks that I used to do when I worked, I used to work a lot of consulting with the Navy, and I had to work with one of what I would say at the time was one of the most miserable human beings that I'd ever encountered. And she was very smart, and she was put on an aspect of my task that I was working. So I didn't have to work with her on a regular basis, but I had to work with her enough that it was uncomfortable. And instead of calling her any name that I could have called her that was really unfavorable, I ended up calling her Sunshine. And Sunshine makes me happy. So it completely flipped the script on how I approached her. And, you know, I could be grateful for the feeling that I had inside instead of feeling the hostility and the separation that those thoughts of negative things about her were doing to me. So that's one trick. The other one is I used to have this boss. This was my first job out of college, and he was incredibly challenging in many ways. And you know, I was able to get to the point many years later after I had left that job and we still kept in touch because I liked him. He was a nice person. I just didn't really like him as a boss. He was really challenging as a supervisor. But as a person, I really liked him. And we got to be quite communicative. And we were planning to have a lunch to meet up and catch up right before he died. And he died before we had gotten to meet each other. He died in an accident. But I had gotten to the point where I could be grateful for him. And that is really, this is going back, I've been doing this being in sync stuff for many, many years. I'm just now coming out publicly with all the things that I've been doing for, 30, 40 years. So the trick was to really just find gratitude with them. And sometimes we have those people that are so challenging for us. But if we could be appreciative of the challenge, it changes the entire relationship. But most importantly, it changes the experience that you have within yourself. So, for all of those of you who have watched this video, I sincerely thank you. I hope these videos inspire you to connect within yourself and share your most authentic self with others, like I'm doing with you. And if there's ever anything that you need help with or have comments about, please feel free to reach out. Cheers to being in sync. I am Kiannaa Sage, and I lead people to being more connected with peace. Cheers.